9 more done. I only have 10 left, actually. That's it. That's all I got left. It's a jumble. I'm not gonna straighten them up. And I actually found this little guy. He's a stowaway. Accidentally got painted up as a zombie. I don't know what I'm gonna do with him. Yeah, we've got 10 more. I'm starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel here. Really just one more small step to finish those guys off. One more night like this. And then we're on to a day of painting flesh and doing highlights and shades, which will in and of itself be a big day. I'm hoping to get it done on Saturday. If we do, that'll be my third Oath of Moment complete, which will be awesome. Now, it probably looks like I did less on these guys, and that's because that's a good example. Here's a good example. I was doing more research, and I realized that this is not really a good example of Kislev. It's believable because the colors are accurate, not necessarily together. It's believable with some tribes, but the main Kislev color scheme is black and red, or blue and white, or green and black. There's a couple of different major tribes apparently in the province of Kislev, and so what I did was actually painted black on black, so it doesn't look like I did anything, but those pants are actually painted. So I painted a lot of black on these guys, so it doesn't look like I did as much on these guys as I did, and I know they all look kind of incomplete. There they are back there. My TV remote in the way. Awesome. Yeah, so they all kind of look incomplete, and I think that'll be the case all the way up until they're pretty much done, because the highlights are fast, but it's a lot of little steps, so it'll take a while for it to look actually like they're nearing completion. But that's a conversation for another day. There they are, painted black and red. This guy looks like I didn't do anything to. Painted his pants black. You can kind of tell the difference. And then painted his little shred of shirt sleeve as well. I'm also going with a pretty universal blonde hair color on the other guys as well, but it's a different color that I use just to mix it up. It's more of like an auburn brown. This is one of my civilians. Yeah, so the next batch, actually these 10 are going to be painted in the whites and grays and browns again. These will be my last former military guys. This guy back here is lost an arm. I'm going to probably paint that rough glue spot as gore and just call it good, because they're zombies. So yeah, nine more guys. I cannot wait for these base coats to be done. Even though it doesn't look like it, there's so many little spots on these things. And I can't wait to get to the point where I can actually start putting the gore on them. putting this stuff. And Warboss Tay actually recommended this stuff on one of my first videos. I'm still debating on how to use that to the best effect, so if anyone has experience or suggestions, please let me know, because we're getting to that point and I would like to not have a major disaster with it, because it's acrylic, so I don't know if it'll be easy to undo. There we go. Well, by the way, this stuff, I don't know if anyone else has noticed it, but this stuff totally smells like cough medicine. It's interesting. So, alright. Second part, day 18 question. Describe your local gaming buddy. You know, that guy. I love that part. So I actually only really have one friend that I consistently play with. We live next to, relatively close to, a Games Workshop Battle Bunker and a couple of local gaming stores that host GW products and tournaments. So we've been to several events, and I've actually been to Valhalla before as well. So I frequent the social areas of the hobby from time to time, but as far as a consistent friend who I play with, I really only have one, and I got him into the hobby about 9 months or so after I started getting into it, and he's been just as devoted and passionate about the game as I have for just as long. He currently plays, because we play 40k primarily, he plays orcs, and he's looking to actually get into Tau. So he's researching the book, and we're actually building him a list right now to get started with, and he's also getting into fantasy with me. In fact, he was the one that convinced me to make the jump to fantasy. And he has a small Skaven army that he's painting. Really cool guy. He's got no end of strategy and tactics locked away in his mind. He's one of those math hammer people who can just crunch numbers basically on the fly and figure out the elegance of the rule system behind the rule itself, if that makes any sense. Kind of deconstruct it, if you will, and figure out the whys of it. He's helped me immensely in building my own lists, and yeah, he's a great buddy to have in the hobby. So shout out to him. You will probably actually see him in the future. I'm planning to do a segment on this channel after the challenge is done and we're moving forward with different things. But I'm planning to do a segment with him where we sit and talk the math hammer and compare different units in the game and kind of get into the nitty-gritty of that. I don't think there's a whole lot out there. I know there's a lot of tactics videos, but I don't know if there's very many tactics videos that delve into the reason the numbers are the way they are. Not necessarily the numbers themselves, but for example, what's the mathematical benefit versus, from twin linked to having more shots and things like that. And it gets really interesting, and we talk for hours about it. So you'll probably be meeting him. Keep an eye out for that. Good guy. So that is my buddy in the gaming hobby, or in the gaming hobby. It's late. Give me a break. In the hobby. All right, day 18. 9 zombies. Stay tuned.